On this episode of The Donut Shop, virtual training and why you should care. Virtual training, built using technologies like virtual reality and augmented reality, can bring huge benefits to businesses and corporations, both big and small. You can see a massive reduction in the cost of your training programs. The effectiveness of those training programs can go way up, and virtual training is infinitely scalable. In 2018, US businesses spent almost $160 billion on training their employees. That is a huge, huge sum of money. Virtual training allows you to create any scenario or any environment where you might need to train employees without the investment in massive infrastructure or scenario building. Secondly, it also reduces the amount of physical bodies required to execute these different training experiences. As an example, the LAPD used to go and rent schools, hire actors and actresses, pull people in from the department, also a small group of officers could practice and train for active shooter scenarios. Now, very important training, yes, but hugely expensive. Leveraging virtual training, the LAPD can now practice this exact same training more effectively in the confines of their own department and have eliminated all those other costs. Virtual training can also be significantly more effective in training people than traditional methods. We all know it's much easier to learn by doing something than it is by simply trying to memorize facts. And that's exactly what virtual training does. It gives your employees the ability to actually do something time and time again. It also allows them to change perspective and step into someone else's shoes. As an example, Fidelity is allowing their call center employees to literally step into the shoes of a customer so they can experience what it's like to call the call center, improving empathy and understanding with those employees. Lastly, virtual training experiences are infinitely scalable. Not only have you reduced the need or eliminated the need for any sort of physical infrastructure or scenario building, you've now also basically eliminated any need for employees to travel to a given location. You can now simply take the technology, box it up, and send it to any one of your offices anywhere in the world. And with any new opportunity, you always want to be aware of the drawbacks. When it comes to virtual training, it does require a bit of an upfront investment, so be prepared. Second, it can be a little tricky to integrate your virtual training experiences into a more complex LMS or learning management system. So if you are using an LMS, make sure you talk to your developer or your development partner to understand how those two systems can work together. And lastly, and this is mainly for the older generations, sorry mom, anytime you employ a cutting-edge technology like virtual or augmented reality, there is the chance of technology pushback. So if you're going to try and roll this out to an older workforce, just know that you may actually have to train them on how to use the technology before they can actually use the technology to get trained on your processes. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Obviously, follow along and stay hungry.